Hello and welcome everyone. Joining you on this lovely Thursday, fall day. Leaves are a gorgeous color, and behind me, we've got this absolutely stunning 2008 Audi RS4 Cabriolet. If you don't know these cars, the Audi RS4 for the B7 generation for the global market came in, I believe, the Avant, the Cabriolet, and the sedan. I don't believe they made a hardtop coupe. I might be wrong. Please correct me if I am. We didn't get the Avant. So in the States, we either had the choice between the Cabriolet RS4 or the sedan RS4. Obviously, this is a Cabriolet, and it is believed that there were about 300 examples brought into the US for the 2008 model year. Specifically, the Cabriolet is what I'm referring to. So that makes this car quite a rare bird. I think it's absolutely stunning. I love the contrasted details on it, like the windshield surround, the mirrors, the grille inlays, and I love the flared fenders, the stance of the car, the wheel and tire package. I mean, overall, it is a very refined car. I'm sure many of you that are interested in this will know that this car came out during really what was the horsepower wars for the most part. So you had the Mercedes C63 AMG with its 6.2 liter V8 making quite a lot of horsepower, I think over 500. You had the E92 M3 on the other hand with its 4 liter S65 V8 making about 414 horsepower. And then of course you have the gorgeous and powerful Audi RS4, which made and currently makes about 420 horsepower out of that 4.2 liter V8. Now, to get into this specific RS4, it is a very, very well cared for car. It's in amazing cosmetic condition, both inside and out, and even more so, it is in just fantastic mechanical condition. Why, you might ask? Well, we've posted them in the gallery, but there are over 42 individual service records for this car. All the big stuff's been done, the walnut blasting, all of the timing chain and camshaft jobs have been done. I believe the dynamic ride has been addressed. All the big stuff, it's got a brand new top, and then of course, just your regular and standard maintenance in addition to all those bigger items that owners would want to see were taken care of. So this thing has got an absolutely perfect and clean bill of health. Everything you'd want to see done to one of these has been done. It drives really beautifully, and the owner is a fantastic gentleman. He is an Audi fanatic. He's got multiple, and he is exactly the kind of guy who you'd want to buy a used super sports car from. So without further ado, we'll get into the overview of the cosmetic condition, both inside and out. Then we'll do a cold start, and then we'll go for a drive. By the way, I am Coulter, and this is Auto Gallery. If you found our listing or our video on YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. And if you need to reach us, if you have questions about the car or another car that you see on the property, just drop us a line at autogallery.us. That is our web handle. You'll find our contact information there. So yes, without further ado, we basically provide this visual inspection and test drive on behalf of our company to all of you potential buyers out there. Obviously, you'll want to see every detail, and we will be absolutely as thorough as possible to give you all the utmost confidence in exactly what it is that you're bidding on, in this case, this gorgeous 08 RS4. So starting up front, I like to start right in the middle. The grille, which is oversized and a major, piece of Audi's design language at the time, at least with the B7, is in really, really nice shape. You kind of have this mattified aluminum trim around. You got a place for a front plate, RS4 badging, your 4-ringed Audi logo, and radiators, coolers, all that stuff behind. No flaws on the grille that I'm seeing. There is just one little abrasion here. There's my finger for size reference, so really minuscule. Passenger side of the front end looks great. Headlight is nice and clear. All that good stuff, even down below. Very, very nice. No rock chips, nothing like that. You have a lot of ventilation gills as well. Even down below, no scratching. Car hasn't bottomed out. And it's got a decently high ride height. Like, there's my finger for reference. Definitely decently high. So not, even though it's a super sports car, you don't necessarily have to be very concerned about scraping it. Now for the driver's side, also in really nice shape, other than this fly that's on the bumper, but very clear headlight, not any rock chipping or anything like that I'm seeing. Even down below, we're in really nice shape. Tiny, tiny little scratch there. I mean, really, really minuscule. And a tiny, I think this is a rock chip. Yeah, little tiny rock chip there. Again, my thumb for reference. And we're going to point out every tiny little thing, no matter how insignificant. Now, coming up top, actually, before we get up top, another big RS4 design cue. Sorry, I just got some water on it. That I love are just how many gills the car has. So the front is very aggressively styled, and then you get these two additional gills here that kind of blend out into your very wide wheel arches and fender flares. So the hood itself, and with this really strong lighting, you can just see how much metallic flake there is in the paint. It's really, really beautiful. It's almost like glitter. Just absolutely gorgeous. But the hood is literally in perfect shape. Driver front quarter also in amazing shape. I'm not seeing any flaws. Coming down to the wheel, these I believe are 8 piston calipers. So the stopping power is just immense. And then of course you have your multi-piece drilled rotors. The tires are from 2022, or at least this front driver tire. It's a Michelin, I believe it's a PS4S. Yep. Pilot Sport All Season 4, sure. And then you get these gorgeous split spoke alloy wheels. I believe they're alloys. There's a little bit of the clear coat or paint starting to let go, but not actually any curbing, like no places where there's been material, abrased or removed from hitting the curb. So maybe it should just be refinished, but overall they present very well. The rotors look really good. Feeling for a lip, there's hardly any. They've got plenty of life left, and same with the pads. So front is a 22. You also get your V8 badging here, reminding you that you are driving an Audi RS4. But yeah, behind the wheel, really nice shape. We did just do a couple driving shots. There's a little bit of road debris here, but overall, really, really clean. Not seeing any flaws on the driver's side. As I mentioned, you've got your contrasted details here with the windshield surround, the mirror, the door trim, all that stuff. But coming forward really quick, just looking at the windshield, it is literally in perfect shape. I am not seeing any rock chips or anything like that at all. And again, just love this contrasted detail here. Same with the mirror cap, little bit of that trimmed finish there missing. Tiny, tiny. Again, my finger for reference, but overall, very solid. Windows are just crystal clear and in fantastic shape. Same with the lower and really just the entirety of the driver's side door. I'm not seeing a single flaw on the driver's side door. Same with the lower rocker panels, just in fantastic shape. You also get a little bit of more RS4 badging in this body molding here. Door handles in fantastic shape. And then as I mentioned, you have a brand new top here, which literally has no creasing, no discoloration. It's nice and supple. All the stitching looks great. Really happy to see that. Little rear quarter window here, also crystal clear. Rear driver quarter, again, in just immaculate shape. I'm not seeing any paint flaws even down below. Up top, we look really good. And then, as I mentioned, yes, you have this contrasted color kind of trim line that runs the entire circumference of the cockpit, I guess you could call it. Coming down below, rear driver wheel and tire. First things first, 3122, so matching date code on these. These are 2022s, relatively new tire. We've also got not much of a lip on the rear rotor. They look perfectly fine and in nice shape. Pads have got a decent amount of life left. And overall, the wheel's in nice shape. Again, you do see a little bit of that degradation of the paint on the outer lip, but no curbing, like no chunks missing. And overall, they're in very solid shape. It's more something that you notice when you're very close to the car. Now for the true rear driver quarter, again, this aft section of the panel in perfect shape, and then down below, no flaws, nothing of the sort. There's a tiny little scratch here, my thumb for reference, and just a tiny one there. You also get your parking sensors, which function perfectly, crystal clear tail light on the driver's side, and then of course your rear glass and the aft section. Got a fly on the camera, aft section of the convertible top, all in really nice shape. I like to refer to this area as like the deck lid or the trunk cover. All very, very nice. Again, you can see that gorgeous metallic flake in the paint, no scratches. And I do notice that having done a lot of these, that this area is very common for scratches. People rest stuff. It's a flat surface, so if you put something, gravity will put its full force down onto the paint, but it is literally in perfect shape. No flaws that I'm noting there. Badging is all in the right place, and they keep it pretty minimal as far as the rear end styling goes. You just get an RS4 badge in addition to your quad ring Audi logo. I should mention that it has an updated head unit with Apple CarPlay, but also a backup camera, which is really helpful in bringing this car more into the modern era. I know it's a 2008, so that would make it 15 plus 2, 17 years old. So getting, a little older. I also love the dual-tipped exhaust with these kind of oblong oval-shaped exits. It's also a valved exhaust, which is really cool. When you hit sport mode, it'll open up the valve, make it a little louder. But overall, rear end in fantastic shape. Same with the plastic trim down here. There is one little abrasion right there, but otherwise, flawless rear end. Now making it over to the passenger side, the amazing condition continues. Rear passenger taillight in fantastic shape. Same with the passenger side of the deck lid and the upper section of this rear quarter. Below, we've also got the lower section of the passenger side of the rear bumper, also in fantastic shape. And again, I love how not overly styled this car is. They are very subdued, but still have an immaculate and amazing and imposing presence. Rear quarter of the convertible top on the passenger side, also in fantastic shape. The glass is in there real nice and smooth and flush. All your stitching looks fantastic. There's virtually zero creasing. Really, really pleased to see that. All your rubber trim for, I guess, this is really the deck lid in really nice shape. Same with your fuel door. Little tiny, tiny, tiny rock chip there. Really minuscule. And then down below, again, date codes 3122, so these were made about halfway through the year in 2022. Rear rotors look very good. Not really a lip there. Definitely a little bit of a lip. They've been used, but totally not needing replacement. Also, pads have a decent amount of life left, so you are good there, at least for the next 1,000 or so miles, as long as you're not putting this on the track. Wheel, overall in solid shape, but it does look like someone potentially tried to clean this maybe with a wire brush or something. So you get these really faint striations, but otherwise really, really nice. So coming up and now forward to the front section of this rear passenger quarter. Again, your RS4 badging in the body molding there. Really, really nice. No flaws other than that tiny little rock chip I noted. Very, very nice. Even down below, just in perfect shape. Same with this rear passenger side quarter window. All your trim is in fantastic shape, and even the rubber seals surrounding the windows are nice and supple. They're not cracking by any means. While I'm here, passenger front window is also in nice shape, and the convertible top up top on the passenger side, just immaculate. I mean, look at the way it seals to the roof, to the windshield surround. Really, really nice. No cracking rubber anywhere, which is amazing to see. So now the passenger door, also literally just flawless. We absolutely love to see that. And it's not like this car's a total garage queen. It's got 52,000 miles. Not a high mileage car, but not an extremely low mileage car. So obviously those miles were added with extreme care. And that is why this car is in such nice condition. Again, we did shoot a little bit of the driving video already, so there's just a little bit of road debris on the lower rockers, but they look fantastic. Again, no flaws there. Mirror and mirror cap look amazing. No flaws there. Same with the A-pillar, same with the windshield. I'm not seeing any rock chipping whatsoever. Love to see that. Now coming to the passenger front quarter, again, your clear marker lights with amber accents, your V8 badging. Front quarter looks fantastic. Tiny, tiny little abrasion there and there, but otherwise really just flawless. And then coming down below, again, the Michelin Pilot Sport All-Season 4s. You've got 3122, so all four tires are 3122s, produced about halfway through the year in 2022. Rotors look fantastic. Same with the pads, totally good there. And then again, just looks like someone may have hit these mistakenly with a wire brush and done a little bit of abrasion on the outer barrels. There is also one curb mark there where there is a little bit of material missing. I would say actually, and I say this in almost every video, that this is the most common wheel for curbing because it's the wheel that you're turning in with. This is the side that the curb is typically on, And so these are most commonly curbed. Not a big deal, really, really simple. We typically get wheels refinished for about $175 a corner, so not a super cost, not a very prohibitive thing to remedy. And then lastly, just the front section of this passenger quarter panel and the passenger side of the hood, all just freaking perfect. I mean, you just love to see a car in this nice of shape. Again, a 17-year-old car, but just to put it all together, obviously you've seen how nice it is cosmetically, and those receipts for mechanical services should really show you how much this car was cherished. So now, without further ado, we will check out the interior, run the convertible top, do a cold start, all that stuff. Alrighty, now for the interior of the car, which is really just as nice as the exterior. Fantastic. A lot of you that are enthusiasts, have owned a few enthusiast cars especially, that know carbon trim, or will be full and well aware that it does tend to just crack a little bit. The clear coat tends to crack. But overall, considering that much of the carbon trim is original, it's actually an amazing shape. Like, we've done plenty of 996 generation 911s, even 997s, where they have the carbon trim and it is just completely falling apart. So I would not be concerned about the carbon trim in this car whatsoever. Also, just look at this door card. It is literally perfect. You always start to see wear on any touch points when you have a driver that doesn't really cherish their vehicle, but this is literally flawless. And it's not like we're crazy detailers. We don't get super into it. We just do a basic detail on every vehicle we present. This is just such a fantastically clean car. So just even looking at like the kick plates, door jambs, all really perfect. There is a little bit of wear on the bolster, no rips or tears, and honestly, the leather is in really nice shape. You just have what I would like to call creasing on the inner edge, also on this outer lower bolster here. But again, overall, the seat is in just immaculate shape. You get this gorgeous perforated leather steering wheel, which shows virtually no wear. This little carbon trim piece has zero cracking on it. Everything is crystal clear, from the gauges, the buttons, all that stuff. Actually, funny enough, the only button with any visible wear on it is that sport button. So clearly the car has been enjoyed, and I would highly recommend pretty much only driving this car in sport because, again, you get that valved exhaust. The headliner of the convertible top is also in really nice shape. Same with the gear selector, carpets, and the parking brake handle. There's not even really any wear on the actual armrests here, which is just fantastic to see. Really, really impressive. You got a phone holder here. And again, as I mentioned, that updated head unit as well with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Not that anyone really sits in the back in these, coupes with 4 seats, but here you go. And they don't appear to really have ever been sat in. They're in amazing shape. Seat back is perfect. Carpets are perfect. And I do love this, very actually similar to how the E92 M3 runs. You just get this button to put the seat back and then little tab there. You also get your embossed RS4 logo on the seats. Super, super cool, as well as on your steering wheel. So now just a quick look in the trunk as well. And actually plenty of trunk space here. It runs pretty deep. We just have an extra plastic cover there. Again, lots, basically every part you'd ever want to see is included in the car. We also have the wind deflector. You've got a secret little compartment there, 12-volt socket. And then below, there's your spare tire, your options sticker, if I'm not mistaken, all that good stuff. You've got your battery, all the stuff that you'd want to see typically. And actually, fun little feature, this is a hanger. So that goes like that when you want to keep it up. For those that didn't know, learn something new every day. So now for the passenger side, and it is very windy today. Please excuse us. Obviously, we can't do anything about that, but we'll try to make the audio as clear as possible. Again, just an immaculate door card. Again, just a little tiny bit of hairline cracking in the carbon trim, but for those of you that know, this one is actually in really, really nice shape. You also have your Audi Bose audio system and a single window switch here, but really just looking at it, there's literally zero wear on any of the touch points. It is like, you do not see this even on a 50,000 mile car. Quattro badging inlaid into your carbon fiber trim. This piece is probably the most severely cracked, but again, it's not compromised by any means. It's not a load-bearing part or anything like that. It's purely cosmetic, so I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever with that. Door jambs are also immaculate. Same with the passenger seat. You do just get that ever so slight creasing on the outer bolster, both up top and down below, but it's really, really mild. And just touching the leather, it's perfectly moist. It's not dried out. It's not going to fall apart on you. Really, really nice to see. Again, your phone mount, dual cup holders, armrest in really nice shape, gear selector in really nice shape. I think that's an additional, coin pouch. Very cool. Yes, there's always lots of neat stuff. This comes out, little secret compartment. I love, again, just how simply designed the interior of the car is. Carpeting section is in perfect shape. And then quickly, just check out the rears. Again, you pull up to bring this forward and then hit the button just like you would in an E92 M3. This car's natural arch nemesis. But yes, those rear seats are just in such nice shape. Really, really, really nice. And even the carbon trim behind the front armrest is in amazing shape. Going back here, hit the button, slides right back. And now for the piece de résistance, that 4.2 liter V8. Now the fantastic thing about these cars that everyone loves, whether you've owned one, driven one, or are just an admirer, is going to be the fact that this motor revs to over 8,000 RPM or revs to 8,000 RPM. I forget if it goes slightly over or not, but that is a significantly high amount of revolutions per minute for any V8 power plant. Obviously, V8s are known for being a higher displacement power plant, so obviously when you have more rotating mass, your revolutions per minute are going to just be naturally lower. This one, obviously not the case. Same with its competitor, the S65 BMW V8 found in the M3. Both rev to over or at 8,000 RPM. I also love the carbon fiber details. I love the tubular looking intakes and also the red valve covers. Just really, really, really cool. And the way that this motor sounds, it's got a lot of duality, which I love. When you don't have it in sport mode, it is very quiet. And when you have it in sport mode, it's not very loud, but it's a brute. It's very brutish, very, very masculine sounding engine note. So without further ado, putting my hand on the motor here, putting my hand even on the block. Oh, it's not hot. Just kidding. We just started it to move it out of the shop. But nice and cold. We'll do a quick little cold start for you all. I'll actually start it here and then give you guys the engine note. So you hop in, 52,657 miles. We are very low on gas, so we're gonna go straight to the filling station. Key in, service due. Not sure what service is due, but everything should be up to date. Passenger airbag off. Used to a BC button typically. And then we just start it up. Very nice. Take it out of gear. Very smooth. So here's what it sounds like off of idle. Pretty sweet. And actually we'll go up front as well. Nice and quiet. Very healthy sounding motor. So now for the fun part. We'll put our second microphone over the exhaust so you guys can get a load of that exhaust note, and we will go for a drive. Alrighty, so as I said, we're low on gas, so I'm just gonna go straight to the filling station, and then once we fill up, we'll get some higher rev entertainment in. We'll also put the top down once we get there, but we are warming up now. The oil temperature, usually it'll show me from the control here, but that may just happen once we're underway. We are in reserve fuel, so that's probably why it's showing me my fuel displays. But anyways, I have the seat heaters. The cool thing about Audi seat heaters, or at least of this generation, is you can just leave them on. So the second you turn the car on, they start heating up. I have mine on 6. It's immediately very, very warm. I've not been sitting here that long. I'm actually going to go down to 3. And then we'll check the passenger and report back in about 20 seconds. But yeah, very good. Again, just going to get to the station here, go for a little light drive on the way there. It's a few miles away. And then on the way back, we'll do some spirited driving and really show you how you can enjoy this car. But yeah, it is really just a fantastic piece of kit. Gonna try to beat this Chevy Cruze coming out of here. And one of my favorite transmissions to manipulate as well. Really satisfying, really, really smooth as well. I love the throw of the shifter. The clutch feel is amazing. It's not too heavy of a pedal. It's not too light of a pedal, which oftentimes is, something I notice in a lot of these enthusiast cars. Sometimes you get a really heavy clutch, like in a 996, they can be very heavy, especially if they haven't been serviced, or, trying to think what else, like a Corvette. Sometimes Corvette can be very light, or a 997 Turbo, you get a very light clutch because it's hydraulically operated, all that stuff. So this is perfect. It's the perfect amount of resistance. Really, really easy car to shift. Obviously, many of you will notice that I'm a younger fellow, so my manual driving skills are fine. I just have not spent nearly as much time behind the wheel of a manual car as I'm sure some of you had, and even for someone like me, it's perfectly user-friendly, very, very easy to use, and just a blast to drive. Really quiet as well, not a lot of road noise, and even though it's a cabriolet, it is a very quiet car as far as the interior, especially when you are not in sport mode. Put it in sport mode, you'll definitely get a lot more exhaust noise, but as far as just cruising around non-sport, it's fantastic. So again, just want to warm it up before we really do anything here. Any of these higher compression, higher performance, high revving, early horsepower war produced engines will want to be up to operating temperature before you really open them up. Same with an E92 M3. It's just good practice, I would say. It is cold out today. Definitely cold out today. I'm going to stop here. So that's what you get not in sport mode. And again, I'm really hardly giving it any throttle. But really pleasant to drive. Like if you just want something that can kind of play a dual role, like sports car and luxury cruiser, and nice fair weather top down chariot, this is like such a great choice. We just did a video comparing this to the E92 M3 we recently sold. And yes, the E92s are very fun cars, but they're a juvenile choice. Like if you're looking for a car from the horsepower war era, this is probably your most mature and refined and urbane choice. This is the thinking man's super sports car, in my opinion. It's very refined. It's not overstyled. It doesn't produce really that juvenile feeling that you get out of like the E92 M3, or definitely that you get out of the C63 AMG. This is definitely the thinking man's choice. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But yeah, just a really, really pleasant car to be piloting. We're coming up on temp now at 154 degrees on the oil temp. Coolant temp is exactly where it should be, and we are very low on gas. So we're just going to get to the station quick, and then we'll do the second part of the video once we've got it all fueled up. Alrighty, so we're here at the gas station. I'm going to hit the convertible top now. There you go. I'm also going to turn my seat heater back up because we're going to do the rest of the trip with the top down. Very smooth, not loud, quick enough as well. Fantastic. Windows go back up automatically. And that's it. So then also, if you want to put this down, you got to hit this button. You also get storage in here, which is cool. What else do we have? So now while we're here, parking brake off. Obviously, you've seen that all the windows work. We've got a couple other functions to test while we're at it. Lights indicate correctly. All our temps are exactly where you'd want to see. I'm going to do my mirrors. Here's the passenger mirror working as it should. Here is, oh, there's fold. Interesting. Look at that. There's a fold setting. So now that'll fold back out. I'm going to do my driver mirror. Hit it down a little bit. Nice. Works exactly as it should. Can hit our check button. Coolant, oil pressure, good. All that stuff. Nice, nice. Wow. Interesting check functions on this. All seem to be functioning very good. Very good. No issues there. What else have we got? I'm going to go climate controls here. So we've got high for the heat. Have it blow out of the center vents here. Nice. Very warm right off the bat. It's like 40 degrees out right now, so can test the AC, but I don't think it will demonstrate that it's, you know, specifically working very well just because it's so cold out today. But there's 63, and then I think I hit Econ. It doesn't seem like there's an AC button. But yeah, it comes out nice and cold. No problems there. Love to see that. Also, what happens when we hit the wrench? Service. Just says service. Okay, no problem there. I'm also just going to do auto, so they trying to get them to go simultaneously, but we'll just put them both on high manually. There we go. Back to the center exit and turn auto off. Center and down. Just hit them up a little bit. Also, again, got the secret compartment here. Forget how you open that. Yeah, there you go. Very cool. Also got ashtray, all that good stuff. And then we've got our new head unit, which I will attempt to connect to Bluetooth with now. I haven't done it, so we'll just find out if that works. Obviously it does work, but one moment. Let's go to Bluetooth, allow new connections. See if anything comes up. RS4 BT, nice. Look at that. Pair, allow. There we go. Use CarPlay. Very easy system to use. CarPlay is literally the best. Nice, look at that. Really, really nifty. Very cool. That alone is worth $1 million. So we'll head out quick. We've got all our seats warm. We've got the heat on. We've got the top down. One thing left to do, throw it in sport mode. You get the illuminated S on the gauge cluster. And we'll hit the road. Only thing I'm missing is sunglasses. And the sound system's great, by the way. Nice. Alrighty. So, little second gear pull here now that we're warm. Full throttle. Very fast car. Very fast car. No slouch by any means. God, this CarPlay thing is so cool. It's so cool, and it looks factory, like it's not, you know, sticking out of the dash or anything like that. Really impressive. You also have like a pretty early form of torque vectoring on this car, which is also pretty cool. But yeah, really nice to drive. Really, really pleasant. A lot of good things going for these V7 RS4s. And it's, you know, very cold out today. Got seat heaters on all the way. I'm nice and warm. have yet to test something that doesn't function exactly as it should. Really, really, again, just a testament to how well this car has been maintained. Really impressive. I love the engine note. So throaty. But yeah, what a day to be enjoying this car with you all. It's a gorgeous fall day. I kind of like the chilly weather. Don't tell my girlfriend, but yeah, it's very nice. The driving position in the car is fantastic. Like, a big thing that I use as like kind of a barometer on how comfortable a car is always, can I sit on my wallet comfortably? And the answer is like an undeniable yes. For example, I daily drive in SLK 55, which has pretty comfortable looking seats that aren't comfortable, and like even after like 15-20 minutes I have to take my wallet out of my pocket. Not the case here. This is very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. And come wintertime, not that I would drive this car in the winter, it's, in my opinion, too nice, but to each their own, you can absolutely drive it with confidence, because this is the only car out of the, horsepower war holy trinity, so to speak, of the entry level, really not at the time, but I guess they were considered the entry level super coupes, really. This is the only one with four-wheel drive. And obviously Audi is famous for their Quattro system. They are rally champions, many years in a row with the Group B era. They really were the ones to pioneer making four-wheel drive cars suitable for the racetrack or, rally stage. They did a fantastic job with that during Group B. And obviously this car gets to benefit from the R&D done during those Group B years. You obviously have a very potent four-wheel drive system. It's rear biased, but obviously is capable of driving all four wheels. And again, will do the dynamic. There's a specific term for it, but for now I'll just refer to it as torque vectoring, but it'll send more power to to either the rear or the front. I'm not sure if it applies to individual wheels or not. I'm also noticing a little bit of abrasion on the bottom of the steering wheel that you'll be able to see when I go around this curve, just right there. Very mild, but I did feel it with my finger. Anywho, what a blast. Bombing through the leaves. Just a fantastic car to drive. And again, just a refined thinking man's sports car, in my opinion. Absolutely. Comparing this to the exhaust note of an E92 or a C63, it is so much more gentlemanly, while still retaining that very masculine, very throaty, very brutal engine note that these 4-liter V8s are famous for. Also very easy to downshift. Coming into some corners here, we'll really get to test the stability of the car. But basically full power into the entry and through the apex. Really impressive, really impressive. It's got a ton of grip in all four corners. Really, really pleasant. Wow. All right, that's fun. This is a really, really good car to drive in the corners, I gotta say. Super impressive, super impressive. It's very friendly, very, very forgiving feeling chassis. The way the suspension's set up, the torque vectoring, all that stuff just comes together and makes a very, very balanced feeling, very forgiving feeling, but at the same time, extremely sharp and sporty chassis dynamics, handling dynamics, all that stuff. And on top of that, you just get that lovely engine note, plenty of low-end torque. It's an incredible package. This is actually my first time, other than shooting a couple driving scenes previously, really driving this car. This is the longest drive I've taken it on, and I am nothing but impressed. I mean, it is genuinely just an absolute joy to drive. It's so refined. It's so refined. So the highest RPM we've hit is 7,000. I do not like going to redline on any car, whether it's my own or one of our customers' cars, but happily goes to 7,000. Temps stay perfectly fine. Our oil temp's 212, which is exactly what you want to see. Coolant temp is right on the center of the needle there. I mean, just fantastic. So thank you all so much for watching our video, for participating in our auction, for being interested in this vehicle. And yeah, it is just a fantastic piece of kit. You can absolutely bid with confidence. This is a really nice one. Probably the nicest RS4 Cabriolet I've seen. And yeah, if we did happen to miss anything, please let me know. Happy to do an additional follow-up, either comment or video. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your week.